This is part 2 of the exercise on how to start, run and reverse the direction of rotation of single-phase AC motors.
Start, run and reverse the direction of rotation of capacitor start, capacitor run motors. Identify the starting and running condensers and check their condition and data. Enter them in tabulation. Compare and analyze the data also relating to the starting and running condensers. Identifying starting and running capacitors. Look for labels like CS for starting capacitor and CR for running capacitor with their respective capacitance values in microfarads. The capacitor values you obtain will help you identify which one is the starting capacitor, which is usually a larger value, and which one is the running capacitor, which is usually a smaller value. The typical range of starting capacitor values can be anywhere from 50 microfarads to 500 microfarads, and running capacitor values can be around 5 microfarads to 100 microfarads. Check the continuity test, insulation test and centrifugal switch for good working condition. Connect the motor to the 240 volt AC supply through the switch and starter as per the circuit diagram. Insert a suitable size of fuse in the ICDP switch and set the overload relay according to the rating of the motor. Switch on the ICDP and start the motor by pressing the start button of the starter. Check the direction of rotation and record it. Change the direction of rotation of an AC single-phase capacitor start and capacitor-run induction motors. Stop the motor, switch off the ICDP. Remove the fuse and interchange the running winding terminals. The direction of rotation could be changed either by changing the running winding terminal connections or by changing the starting winding terminal connections, whichever is easier. From the circuit diagram shown, interchange the terminals of U1 and U2. Stop the motor, interchange the starting winding terminal connections as shown in the circuit diagram and check for the direction of rotation. Stop the motor, reconnect the starting and running winding and only interchange the supply terminal connections at the starter outgoing side as shown in the circuit diagram. Switch on the ICDP and start the motor by switching on the push button in the DOL starter and observing the direction of rotation and speed. Connect, start, run and reverse the direction of rotation of a repulsion motor. Connect the devices in accordance with the circuit diagram. Before switching on, keep the brush rocker handle away from the zero position neutral zone, depending upon the desired direction of rotation. At the zero position of the rocker arm, the motor will not start though the windings are connected to the supply, resulting in heating up of the motor. Switch on the ICDP and press the on button of the starter to start the motor. Measure the speed using tachometer, direction of rotation and enter in the tabulation. Slowly shift the rocker arm position away from the earlier position and note down the speed in each step and enter in the tabulation. Normally, the rocker arm position is indicated on a graduated scale. Switch off the motor. Shift the brush axis in the opposite direction to the earlier position. Switch on, start the motor. Observe the direction of rotation and speed, then enter the values in tabulation. Shift the rocker arm position slowly away from the earlier position. Note down the speed at each step and enter in tabulation. Switch off the supply and disconnect the motor and accessories. Note down the conclusion showing the relationship between brush position, speed and D.O.R. Start, run and reverse the stepper motor. Connect stepper motor to RPS, that is regulated power supply. Adjust 6 volt in regulated power supply and switch on the supply and observe the operation of the motor. Note down the correct and voltage and direction of rotation. Stop the motor, interchange the supply terminal connections and observe the direction of rotation of motor.
This concludes the exercise on how to start, run and reverse the direction of rotation of single-phase AC motors. Hope now you will be able to
start, run and reverse the D.O.R of induction start and induction run motors through the DOL starter, capacitor start and induction run motors, capacitor start and capacitor run induction motors, repulsion motors and stepper motors.
Thank you. See you in next exercise.